In every Pokemon game, we always have a rival. Someone to compete with, someone to make us better, and someone to best, defeating at every turn in our pursuit to become the best like no one ever was. But riddle me this, Batman. What if this wasn't so? What if I did a hardcore Nuzlocke of Pokemon Leaf Green using only Pokemon used by our rival? This means level caps, no items in battle, I play on set mode, and if a Pokemon dies, it goes straight to a grave in Lavender Tower. In Leaf Green, our rival is extremely interesting. Depending on what Pokemon we pick, his team is very different. Across all 3 variants of the 8 main story rival fights, our rival uses a total of 10 Pokemon. 3 of these are your starter, so I will be limited to only 8 Pokemon for this entire Nuzlocke. Will I prevail, or will I fall against the protagonist just like the rival always does? I began my journey chatting with my grandfather. He tells me about the wonderful world of Pokemon and reminds me of my name, Rival. He also tells me he has a new favorite, some kid named Him. We both go to see Grandpa, and he gives us both a Pokemon, which is totally unfair in my opinion, but it is what it is. I pick a Bulbasaur named Gary, and Him picks Charmander. I put Him in his place in our first fight, before Grandpa sends me on a fetch quest for some package. I grab it and bring it back to him, and he rewards me with Pokeballs and Pokédex. Armed with my balls, I head up towards the first route, encountering and catching Silver the Pidgey. Then, on Route 22, I catch Rattata, naming her May. This, funnily enough, will be my team for a while. I head through Viridian Forest, making it out into Pewter. I head right for the gym, putting Brock in his place with just a few Vine Whips. I move forward, my shiny new badge glistening on my chest, a new pep in my step. Maybe if I collect all the gym badges, Grandpa will love me again. And sure enough, as I leave Pewter, I'm gifted with running shoes. This has to be a sign of my grandfather's affection, and I will make him proud. I advance, arriving at Mount Moon and collecting Dawn the Magikarp for $500 in the Pokemon Center. Finally, a strong Pokemon. I cannot wait to get rid of this rat. Strong Pokemon are the only way to win in this long run. In the cave, Gary and Silver evolve, and I exit, making it to Cerulean. Misty's level cap is 21, allowing me to not only evolve Raticate, but Gyarados too. In conjunction with this, after I destroy him once more, I catch an Abra. This is what I need. Right after catching Bianca, she evolves into Kadabra, and soon I will have an Alakazam firing off mind-meltingly powerful psychics. I begin my fight with Misty, and it's almost as simple as our battle with Brock. I lead Ivysaur, intending to use the unbeatable strategy of Leech Seed and Sleep Powder. I seed him, miss my first Sleep Power before putting him to sleep and taking him out with a Vine Whip. Out next is Starmie, and I use the same strat. It's seeded, it's put to sleep, and it's killed, earning us our second gym badge. Second badge in hand, I take out the Team Rocket member Him so selfishly ignored. I earn the Dig TM for it, and progress down to Vermilion. In Vermilion City, I use the SS ticket I acquired from some strange Pokemon to get the Cut HM. There, I find Him, trying to best me once again, but I am not having it. Apparently, Him thinks it's funny to have a team that mirrors mine. I'm the only one laughing because I easily dispatch his team. May kills Pidgeotto, Kadabra, Raticate, and Charmeleon. He uses 4 Pokemon, and all I needed was one stupid rat. How sad. Anyways, I get the Cut HM, teaching it to said rat, along with Dig. I square up against Lieutenant Surge, but I don't even end up needing May. My incredible Bianca takes out all 3 of his Pokemon, proving just how powerful she is compared to the rat. Armed with Cut, I head back to Cerulean. I snag a bike there, using another voucher I got from some man attracted to horses, but I move along. I find my way through the pitch dark cave and exit into the shining sun next to Lavender Town. Just left of Lavender, I catch a Vulpix. While you may be thinking, dude, that is not a Growlithe, I disagree. See, if you squint your eyes and then keep going until they're closed, wait a few seconds for me to load my save file into PK Hex, and then open them again, you'll see that Hugh was a Growlithe the entire time. Now, equipped with my team of 6, I square off against him once more. Finally, he decided to use different Pokemon, but it barely makes a difference. Him leads Pidgeotto, and so do I. Silver can't get the kill though, so I swap into Dawn to take it out. He mirrors me, bringing out his own Gyarados. He foolishly locks himself into Thrash, allowing me to take him out with just 2 Dragon Rages. Third is Execute, prompting me to send out Hugh for the easy kill. Fourth is Kadabra, killed with just a bite, and 5th is Charmeleon. Apparently, Him decided to lock in, taking my Dawn down to just 17 HP before finally going down. I will begrudgingly admit that Him is getting better, but I will still win back my grandfather's love, mark my words. I head to Celadon, beating the 4th gym leader Erica with Hugh before stopping at the game corner to gamble. I'm just about to hit the slots when I discover Team Rocket's secret base. Once again, him is just too good to meddle with lowly rockets, so I dispatch them, defeating their leader and snagging the Silph Scope from him. I'm sure he won't mind. I head back to Lavender Tower, but I notice something, a fresh grave. I look closer, seeing it's Him's Raticate, but that doesn't make any sense. Him just used it, but he didn't. Him hasn't used Raticate since the SS Anne. Did I do this? No, I couldn't have. It was that fool who did it, not me. But maybe, no, it wasn't my fault. As I continue climbing the tower, I can't help but hold my ace ball just a little tighter, just in case. At the top of the tower, I find Mr. Fuji and let him free. This makes my blood run backwards. Kidnapping an old man? How could they? These rocket grunts really don't know when to quit. That could have been Grandpa, and I will not give them a chance to let it be Grandpa. Congratulations, Giovanni. You just made it personal. I help Fuji back to his home, and he gives me a smile, thanking me for my kindness. I tell him it's nothing, but I can't deny the warm feeling creeping through my chest when he thanked me. Maybe kindness wasn't the worst thing ever. I remove the Snorlax blocking the path to Cycling Road, riding down to Fuchsia City. In Fuchsia, I head for the Safari Zone. There, I grab an Execute of my own, named Hau, as well as a Rhyhorn named Tierno. Finally, I can remove the rat from my team, creating a squad of powerful Pokemon. Though as I put May in the box, I can't help but feel a twinge of guilt. But no, I can't let May die just like Him's Raticate. This is for her own good. Alakazam easily takes down Koga, earning me my 5th gym badge. At this point, I have a fully evolved squad. With Tierno, Silver, Gary, Dawn, Hugh, and Bianca, I can't help but feel unstoppable. Besides, who could take down such a powerful team of Pokemon? I head to Saffron with the intent of getting my 6th badge. I head for the gym, but stop dead in my tracks, seeing Silphco overrun with rocket grunts. My vision goes red and I head in. I take down rocket after rocket. I see him too, but he just gets in my way. Finally, I see Giovanni. This time, I am not letting him go until he ends this whole operation. I lead with Dawn, taking down his Nidorino with just a few water pulses. Next is Rhyhorn, but he's taken down with just 1 water pulse. Next is Kangaskhan, but Dawn just doesn't have the strength. I swap into Tierno, and he finishes the Kangaskhan off. Next in is Nidoqueen, but stomp after stomp proves to be too much, and Tierno is dubbed the winner. Giovanni, seeing the hate in my eyes, realizes what he must do. He ends Team Rocket and goes into hiding. Finally, with that weight off my chest, I can go take on Sabrina. I head to her gym, challenging her without a worry in the world. I lead with Dawn, taking out her Gotabra in just 4 bites. Next in is Mr. Mime, who I take out with Tierno. Following Mime is Venomoth, who is taken out just as easily. Next is Alakazam, so I bring in Bianca. Bianca sets up a Reflect. I attack, but she uses a Psychic, totaling Bianca instantly. But she outspeeds with a Psychic and a Future Sight, taking Dawn out before she can even do a pixel of damage. Hugh comes out, biting her for half and living a Psychic in the red. I go for a bite again, missing the KO when she heals. I bite again and she sets up a Future Sight. I decide to switch, bringing in Gary. Gary lives the Future Sight, allowing him to get in a Sleep Powder, but he misses, joining Bianca and Dawn in the grave. In a last-ditch effort, I bring out Tierno. I use a Kamikaze Rock Blast and she fails her Future Sight. Rock Blast connects, getting a crit and taking out the Alakazam, winning me this brutal fight. This fight destroyed me. Sabrina took my 3 most powerful Pokemon from me, leaving me with just 5. Looks like I can't even beat the game with a full team. I send Dawn, Gary, and Bianca off to the Pokemon Tower, laying them to rest right next to Him's Raticate. May rejoins the squad, as well as Hau. Hau evolves, learning Sleep Powder and Leech Seed, and I use my Giga Drain and Psychic TMs on him, giving him the boost in power to become a serious heavy hitter. I also give May Super Fang and Strength, giving her the powerful moves she desperately needed. I end up using the powerful Pokemon I once had, but I can't deny I'm a little happy to have May back. I head to Cinnabar Island, taking on Blaine. Honestly, I am extremely worried after our last fight, but I have to do this. Not just for Grandpa, but for the memory of my fallen comrades. Blaine leads Growlithe, and I lead Tierno. Growlithe's Intimidate drops my attack, but 2 Rock Blasts prove to be enough to kill. Next is Arcanine, dropping my attack a second time. Arcanine shoots off a Fire Blast, and I miss my Rock Blast. He fires off a second, sending me into the red, but I connect, doing about 1/3 of his health. I'm on the back foot now, so I bring in Silver, taking a bite on the switch-in. I go for a fly, hitting him, bringing him down to just 1/3, but he brings me down to just 5 HP. Foolishly, I go for fly again, but he heals, taking me out when I come back to the ground. I bring in Hugh, lowering his attack. I begin spamming Takedown, taking him out and bringing in Ponyta. I go for another takedown, getting just shy of the kill, and Ponyta brings me to just 14 HP. I go for the bite, taking him out, bringing in his final Pokemon, Rapidash. Out of options, I bring in May. May goes for the strength, hitting a critical hit, taking Rapidash out in one hit, ending that awful fight. We beat Blaine, but now my team is just 4 Pokemon. I am scared. Raticate, Rhyhorn, Arcanine, and Exeggutor. How is this team supposed to defeat another gym leader, the Elite Four, and the champion? Truly, I think this run is over, but I decide to play on. Fortune favors the bold, and everyone who subscribes to Tam. Just letting you know. I head to the 8th gym, coming face to face with Giovanni, but something is different this time. No evil scheme, just a man ready to test me, to see if I am worthy of the Elite Four. And you know what? I am. Exeggutor destroys his entire team, getting me my final badge and the Earthquake TM for Tierno. Now, it's time for the Elite Four. But before I head for the Indigo Plateau, it's gambling time. I get the Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, and Flamethrower TMs, as well as the Miracle Seed. I get my team in the best condition I can and head for my final challenge. As I head into the gate, him decides to challenge me one last time. One final fight to see which of us is truly stronger. Like always, he leads Pidgeot and I lead Tierno. 2 Thunderbolts fry the bird, but he does get a Feather Dance in, as well as doing a bit of damage. Next in is Execute, so I bring in Hugh. Hugh uses 1 Flamethrower, scrambling the eggs. Third is Rhyhorn, so I kill it with 1 Giga Drain. 4th is Charizard, so May comes out. I hit a Super Fang doing half, and I bring Hugh in to finish it with 2 Extreme Speeds. 5th is Gyarados, so I bring out Hau. Hau uses the Sleep Seed combo, taking out both Gyarados and Alakazam, winning me the final fight against him. Him is outraged, storming off towards the Pokemon League. I follow, making it to the Indigo Plateau without any trouble. Finally, the time has come, and I am ready. I spent a while crafting this perfect strategy for Elite Four, and it all comes down to this. I may not have the strong Pokemon I thought I wanted, but now I know that these 4 Pokemon are stronger than anything hiding in that tall grass, and they are ready. Lorelei leads with Dugong. I lead with May. I Super Fang, she safeguards. I use Strength, she sets up Hail. I use Super Fang, predicting the heal. I use Strength, taking her Ice Beam, finishing her off next turn. Next in is Cloyster, and my safest answer is Hau. Hau uses 1 Giga Drain, taking the KO and sending in Lapras. I take an Ice Beam, putting her to sleep, as well as Leech Seed, and she's dead before she even wakes up. 4th is Slowbro. Slowbro uses 2 Amnesias before I can get her to sleep, so I Leech Seed and swap in May, using a Super Fang and a physical Shadow Ball to murder the Slowbro in their sleep. 5th and finally is Jinx, but without any water moves, Jinx falls dead to Hugh's Flamethrower. That's the first fight, finished deathless. Next is Bruno, but Exeggutor solos the entire fight, alternating between Giga Drains and Psychics. That's 2. Third is Agatha, but May proves herself invaluable. May leads, taking Gengar out with a few Shadow Balls. Does take a little bit of damage to a confused rain-induced self-hit, but she causes Agatha to waste one of her healing items in return. Following Gengar is Golbat. Golbat does do a lot of chip damage to Tierno, but it falls to just 1 Rock Blast. Third is Arbok, who falls to just 1 Earthquake. Fourth is Haunter, wasting time with a mean look and falling to just 1 Flamethrower from Hugh. 5th and finally is her other Gengar. I use 2 bites, getting us both in kill range. She heals, and I swap into Hau, taking her out with just 1 Psychic. The third Elite Four member is down, still deathless. Now for the trickiest fight of them all, Lance. Tierno leads, taking a weak bite from Gyarados, retaliating with a killing Thunderbolt. Next out is Dragonair. Dragonair locks itself into Outrage, and I use Ice Beam, getting the freeze. He stays frozen, and I take him out next turn. Third is his second Dragonair. I take an Outrage and get the kill with 2 Ice Beams. Fourth is Dragonite. Hau comes out, taking an Outrage and using Leech Seed. Dragonite confuses himself, hits himself, allowing me to get in a Psychic when Safeguard wears off. I bring in May, taking the incoming Wing attack and firing back with a Strength, taking out Dragonite. Finally is Aerodactyl. I predict the Hyper Beam, sending in Hugh. Hugh uses Sunny Day, setting up the sun, letting him get in 2 sun-boosted Flamethrowers, taking Aerodactyl and himself into the red. He heals and I bring in May. May gets a Super Fang in, getting him to half when he uses Ancient Power. Predicting yet another Hyper Beam, I bring in Hau, taking the Hyper Beam and taking him into heal range. He heals, I attack, and I use Sleep Powder. He snoozes, I Seed, and a Psychic kills before he wakes up. I did it. I proved my grandfather wrong. Him isn't the true Pokemon Master. I am. Whoever this champion is, they're not ready for me. Because of my 4 perfect Pokemon, I am unstoppable. I walk into the champion's room, and I see him. Literally, him. Always one step ahead. Took the champion crown before me. From the moment we became trainers, he's been stealing everything from me. Now, it's my turn for revenge. Like always, it's Pidgeot versus Tierno. He feather dances, I take some health with Rock Blast and Flamethrowers before Exeggutor comes out. I switch too, bringing in Hugh to take him out with just 1 Flamethrower. Out third is this Rhydon, so I switch in How on a light Earthquake. I get a Drain, healing back to full as Rhydon falls. Out comes Gyarados, so I put him to sleep, seed him, and bring out Rhydon. I use Thunderbolt, and he misses his Hydro Pump, but with Thunderbolt and Leech Seed, I just miss the KO. He knows he's dead to Leech Seed, so he heals, and I fire off a Rock Blast, doing half. Now, I just have to hope he misses Hydro Pump. And he does. I take him out, and he brings Pidgeot back in. He feather dances, but Rock Blast kills anyways. Next is Alakazam, the Pokemon I'm terrified of. I bring in How, and he uses Reflect. He fires off a Psychic, and I put him to sleep. Leech Seed and Giga Drain take him out, leaving only Charizard. At first I'm excited, but then I realize I can't sacrifice any extra health on Rhydon, so someone has to go down right now, and unfortunately, Charizard sets How in his crosshair. He hits his Fire Blast, and How, the Magnificent, falls. Rest easy, my friend. This run would never have happened without you. Out comes Tierno. I take his Fire Blast, and 2 shots of Rock Blast down to Charizard, winning me the Pokemon League. Finally, the rival story gets told, and Grandpa sees me for who I am, a trainer who loves his Pokemon. I now understand why he didn't give me the attention I wanted. It's because I didn't deserve it. I only love strong Pokemon, but now I understand. Weak Pokemon, strong Pokemon, it doesn't matter. True Pokemon Masters use May the Raticate. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe for more, and let me know if you want to see more rival Nuzlockes in the future.